Many of you are aware that the president has asked me to focus on the issues of the root causes of migration to the United States. As you know, we inherited a tough situation, and in 5 months we've made progress, but there's still much more work to be done.
That was Kamala Harris in El Paso, Texas, yesterday, making her first visit as vice president to the border. Let's bring in Representative Kevin McCarthy, House Minority Leader, now to react. Mr. Minority Leader, thank you so much for being here. So you can take on, what's your make on the location, the timing, and the message of the vice president yesterday?
Well, it seemed like she spent more time at the airport than she spent at the border. But to literally say that they inherited a problem and they made progress, none of those facts play out. You have a border that was secure. You have a new administration that changed executive orders and invited people to rush the border illegally. Now in May, we had 180,000 encounters. That was a 21-year record of illegal crossings. For the last 3 months, it has increased. The time that the president asked the vice president to take on this job, 500,000 illegal individuals came across this border, were encountered. Those are the only people we were able to encounter. Think of there's going to be more than 1 million individuals that get through here that we don't encounter from more than 160 countries. And what's worse, Pete, you would understand this. We are catching people who are on the terrorist watch list from Yemen.
Well, if it's open for some, it's open for all. And why, if she's in charge of root causes, which is what she says, how she characterizes it, why go to El Paso, where most of the illegal crossings are coming from Mexico, as opposed to, say, McAllen, where you're seeing it from Central America? I mean, was any of this about getting to the truth of what's actually happening?
No, we know why she's going, because President Trump is going in a few days. She has denied the ability to even go down there. You know, she cackled and said she hasn't been to Europe either. I wonder if next week is a trip to Europe.
Yeah.
But she needs to take this serious. There's so many ramifications. One, the security and safety of this nation. It's never right to come here illegally. But fentanyl has now increased by 300%. And that's not just affecting border cities. Every city in America is now having people die from the fentanyl that is being brought into this country because of the border, the cartels that are overtaking these cities. This is a real threat to everyone in America, and she's not taking it serious, you know, by her denying going there, denying the facts of what's happening, and not going to the place that she really should be. Why only go to one place on the border? That border is very large.
Why spend an hour or two? You know, absolutely. So many questions. I got to get your take on one other topic, though, Mr. Minority Leader. You know, COVID-19 showed how much of our scientific community is compromised by the Communist Chinese, by global institutions. Well, now we've got another example from corporate America. The Nike CEO was talking to a series of investors, talking about the brand of Nike. This is what Nike CEO John Donahue said just recently. We are the largest sport brand there, meaning in China. And we are a brand of China and for China. And the biggest asset we have in China is consumer equity. Consumers feel a strong, deep connection to the Nike, Jordan, and Converse brands in China. It's real. Of China, for China. Last time I checked, Nike was an American company.
Yeah, you would think that. I wonder if Google would say the same thing.
That's right.
And think about what China has just done to the world. Killed more than 3 million people. Killed more than 600,000 Americans. The country that Nike was created in. Remember what China is a communist country, that you have to have a communist representative in every single business. And remember what China does too. They also have slave labor. Do you know, I put a bill on the floor recently that said if any company manufactures in China or contracts with somebody manufacturing in China that uses slave labor, they have to report to the Treasury. 217, every single Democrat voted no on that and denied that from coming forward. But we need to hold China accountable. I just rolled out 8 pillars. We need to stop the gain of function. First of all, we need to get all of our intel and declassify it so the world can know where this COVID came from in Wuhan. Next, what we need to do is actually change the sovereign unity, the ability for Americans to hold them accountable and sue for their loved ones. But why would the world reward China with the Winter Olympics coming up? Why wouldn't we move that? And I would think Nike, being a sports outlet, believing in the ability of holding people accountable, wouldn't want to hold that in China. But now, since they're a company of China for China, I would question their ability to stand up to them.
Yeah, and of course, they have no problem with it. It's just amazing to me that an entire political party in this country appears to be completely unwilling to take on the single greatest threat to humanity, which is the Communist Chinese and their ambitions in the coming century. Thanks for standing up for it, Representative Kevin McCarthy. Really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.